Aman Raj always late. Fine, we'll start our class. Let them join in between. Uh,
Good morning, sir.
problem. Good morning, Aman. Always late.
Sorry, sir.
Always late, Aman.
No,
I
sir.
think
There is internet issue. That's why, sir.
Everybody have the same excuse, internet issue.
Sir,
No,
No, sir,
because
it's
everybody is at
raining.
home now, sir. That's why everybody is using their internet.
no. Everybody is at home. That's why they are creating this excuse.
No, sir.
No,
I
sir,
have
it's
no problem, sir.
raining. Sir, it's
I have
raining
no
today out
problem,
here.
sir.
See, Meenakshi have a
No
different
problem.
excuse.
No, sir,
Yes, sir.
actually the internet is down out here today.
No,
only.
that's fine. That's fine. We'll start
Sir,
our class.
yesterday
But now
Meenakshi,
we have 40 students and allow them in
no, sir.
between.
Meenakshi would have been watching Hindi serial till now, sir. Then net
Oh,
would have been.
hello. Please, you watch that, okay? I don't watch all these
Hindi
nonsense.
serial or this
Oh, please.
Hoichoi, that's Bengali serials.
No,
Bengali
Why,
serial, sir.
nobody watches Hoi Choi.
Fine,
sir,
fine.
sir, I know, sir. Meenakshi, no, sir. Full Hindi
Yeah,
serial, sir.
you peep into my phone and you see, no, from Chennai, and you literally peep
Fine,
into my
leave
phone from
it. Now
Chennai.
we'll start our class. I'll meet.
Yes, sir. Cabo, sir. Cabo, Cabo.
Okay. Fine. Till last class, we were discussing about what are the different types of preference here. Now, we'll come on what are the major difference between preference share and equity share. Okay. But preference share and equity share, we have already discussed about what are the major features of these two. Now we'll discuss, jotted down everything at one place. There are different criteria which is showing on your screen. On a basis of that criteria, we can divide or we can differentiate easily what is preference share and equity share. The first and most important criteria is the rate of dividend paid. In case of preference share, rate of dividend is pre-decided at a time of issue of a share. So it's a fixed. But in equity share, as we all well aware that equity shareholder is getting a part into profit. So every time the amount of dividend may vary according to the profit of a company. If company is earning good profit, the dividend rate will high. And in case of no profit, company may not declare any dividend to equity shareholder. So on a basis of rate of dividend, preference share is a fixed, equity share may vary. The second criteria is a priority of a payment. At what time these shareholder will get paid? Obviously, the preference shareholder always have a priority on a payment, while the equity shareholder cannot pay before preference capital. Every time they will paid after the preference shareholder has been paid or cleared their dues. Redemption, preference share generally have a maturity date, generally have a limitation, generally have a limited capital structure. So company may redeem the preference share on expiry, but in equity share, it's a perpetual in nature. It will never redeemed. Although the shareholder is free to sell back to someone else, but it will never redeem. So in redemption, preference share will be redeemed after a stipulated time, but equity share will not redeemed. It will remain entire life. The preferential right, Always preference shareholder have a preferential right on an equity share, while equity share have any right at the end. It means if company is binding up, they will be the last person who will get a settlement from the company. So they are always treated as an end. Area of a dividend, I already explained you the accumulation of a dividend, the same will be applicable. In preference shareholder, dividend can be accumulated. It means this year dividend can be paid to next year, and next year dividend can be paid to next year. But in equity share, this is not allowed. Company can only declare a dividend for a current year. Bonus and right issue, this clause is only applicable to the equity shareholder. Company are not supposed to issue any right issue or bonus issue to preference shareholder. It means if company want to raise any additional fund by issuing a right share, they are supposed to sell that share to equity shareholder. They are not allowed to sell that share to the preference shareholder at any cost. At a time of winding up, obviously at a time of winding up, it means when company is closing their business, they will give a preference to the preference shareholder. They will return the entire capital to the preference shareholder before paying to equity shareholder. So that's a difference. At a time of winding up, the preference shareholder always have a right before equity shareholder. Voting right, it means the shareholder who have a right to take a decision in a company. Voting right always indicate a right to decision. Preference shareholder does not have any such right in a company. They cannot vote in any decision, but equity shareholder definitely they can vote for any decision, so they have a voting right. Last, conversion of a share. Preference shareholder may be converted into ordinary share, but it varies from case to case. But equity share cannot convert it into any another form. So that's a major difference between preference share and equity share. Any problem? If any have a problem, you can raise your hand or put a message in a chat. Fine. After this, we'll go into the next part of capital. Till now, what we were discussing is the equity part of long-term capital. I already explained in a very first slide that long-term capital will be divided into three categories: ownership capital and borrowed capital. What we have discussed till now is about share capital. It means the ownership capital. Now we'll enter into borrowed capital category. As borrowed capital, it means anything that company borrow from somewhere else. And if I am a company, if I am running a business, rather than making investment in form of equity, that is preference share or ordinary share, if I am borrowing something from somewhere else, if I'm taking a loan from any bank, if I'm issuing a bond to someone else, I'm issuing a debenture to someone else, I'm taking a loan from my friend, I'm taking a loan from my another company, all will categorize as a borrowed capital. Anything which is long-term in nature, but not a equity, is considered under borrowed capital. That's a simple concept of a borrowed capital. Anything, any fund which is coming to the company and which is long-term in nature, and the fund is coming for a more than a year, and that is not categorized under equity capital, definitely that is a borrowed capital. So list of borrowed capital is very long. It can be in different format, but here we will discuss about mainly the two things. One is called bond, other is called debenture. Okay. So here in our syllabus, we have to mainly discuss about the long-term capital in form of bond and debenture. Fine. So what is the major criteria? What is the major character of a borrowed capital? Borrowed capital is temporary in nature. Because when we are making an investment in form of equity, the investment will remain with the company till end of the business. But borrowed capital does not have the case. borrowed capital is always temporary in nature. It means it will be generally fixed. If I'm issuing a debenture, the debenture do have a maturity period. If I'm taking a loan from a bank, that loan also have a certain limitation in terms of time. So it's always temporary in nature. You have to pay back the entire thing before end of the business, before the pre-decided time period. The second point, it always create obligation of repayment. In equity capital, it does not have any obligation. If company have a profit, company can pay the dividend, but in borrowed capital, you have an obligation to pay. Either your company is making profit or not, but every time you are obligated to pay back. So it's create obligation to the company regarding repayment. This repayment may be in profit, this repayment may be in capital, or any other format of repayment. You are obligatory to do that. The third is they have a fixed repayment schedule. Repayment schedule, I've already discussed about loan amortization when we are discussing in unit 2, time value of money, how to create a loan amortization. In loan amortization, we calculate a EMI, equated monthly installment. That is called schedule of repayment of loan. Similarly, every type of borrowed capital have a fixed repayment schedule. If I took a loan from a bank, I know that every month I have to pay back. Let's assume I took a 20 lakh rupees as a loan from a bank. I know that every month I have to pay 20,000 towards the repayment of my loan. That become a fixed repayment schedule. If I created a capital by a bond or a debenture, I know that at a fixed time, every 6 months, I have to pay them an interest, which is a coupon rate of a bond. And at the end of the period of a bond, I have to return back the capital. That become a schedule of repayment. So in every type of borrowed capital, we have a fixed repayment schedule, which is not in case of equity. Generally, borrowed capital is secured in nature. This term says that if you are creating a borrowed capital, the lender will ask a certain mortgage from you. Like if you are issuing a bond, bond is always secured, which is backed by the asset of a company. If you are taking a loan from any bank, bank will definitely ask to mortgage your property. So generally, borrowed capital is secured in nature. The last point, the borrowed capital create a relation of creditor. It means if you are borrowing anything from anyone, that create a relation of creditor and debtor in a company. You have to pay back, so it's called a creditor relation. So that is the major character of a borrowed fund. Now we'll discuss in detail about bond and debenture. Fine. Simply when we try to define about a bond, bond is a debt financial instrument in which an investor loan money to an entity. This entity may be a government body, may be a government agency, or sometimes is a big corporate house. So here in bond is nothing, is type of loan. It's just a create a condition of a loan where as an investor, if I'm an investor and if I'm paying money to certain entity, the person who have issued this bond in a market, they are basically a borrower. They try to borrow fund from a market, and I'm an investor. I'm a person who lending money to them. So the bond is always considered as a debt financing instrument, where we are creating a relation of a debt, we are creating a relation of a loan. Where investor, it means a person who have a money is giving a loan to a person who want to use that money. And generally, who are that person who want to use this money are government agency, financial institution like banks, development bank, or any big corporate like Reliance, L&T. Okay, so this create a fixed relation. Okay, and this fund can be borrowed for any time period. Okay, for any time period, This time period may be a 1 year, maybe 2 year, maybe 20 years. In case of government, we do have a government bond for 30 years. So this can be any time period, but this time period will be defined before investing with a variable or a fixed interest rate. The bond have number one is a debt instrument where the investor will create a condition of a loan where investor is paying a money to an entity, and this will create a borrowed relation for a fixed period, defined period, and here interest rate may be fixed or variable. Fixed, it means the coupon rate is pre-decided that every time I'll pay you 7%, every time I'll pay you 20%, every time I'll pay you 30%. That is a fixed interest rate bond. While variable interest rate bond says that your payment on this loan will vary according to the certain condition. That condition may be a profit of a company. That condition may be something outside to the company. Like outside to the company is nature of economy, inflation rate, GDP growth, LIBOR rate, anything can be considered as an external factor. So if your bond is paying an interest rate which is not fixed, this become a variable interest rate. So the complete concept of bond is always a debt financial instrument. An investor will invest, an entity will accept that payment, and this payment is always for a defined period of time, and the interest rate may be variable or a fixed. That's become a criteria of a bond. Now, when we are talking about a debenture, debenture is very much similar to the bond. Debenture is very much similar to the bond, but the major difference are, which is given here, the major thing is that debenture is always issued by a public limited company. The company who are trading into Indian stock exchanges, the company who are trading into any organized stock exchange across the globe, they will consider as a public company. So debenture more or less is very similar to the bond, but they have a certain differences that we will discuss in this slide only. That debenture is very much similar to the bond. It means it's a long-term debt financial instrument, but here the condition is debenture will always issued by a public company, the company who are trading or who are listed into any organized stock exchange. That stock exchange may be BSE, maybe NSE, or any stock organized stock exchange across the globe like NYSE, Luxembourg, anywhere. But the condition is only these type of company are allowed to issue a debenture. But when we'll go a minute discussion about bond and debenture, they have a little difference. The differences are generally when we are talking about bond, bond is always secured. It means if your company is issuing a bond, it should be backed by a certain asset. Like if my company is issuing a bond to raise a fund from a market, that amount, that bond, let's assume I've issued a bond of 1,000 crore in a market, which clearly indicate I must have a property of 1,500 crore, 1.5 time of the bond, or it should be backed by directly by the government. In case of RBI, if RBI is issuing any bond, it is not secured by asset, but it is secured by the government of India. So in any case, either you have a property or it should be secured by any government agency, it should be secured by any agency or institution which is run directly by a government, but it must have a security. So bond, the first condition, first difference between debenture and bond is bond are secured in nature, but debenture can be secured or unsecured. And both type of debenture is available in a market. There are certain debenture which is backed by asset, which is backed by your property, and there are certain debenture which is not backed by your property, which is unsecured in nature. So debenture can be both secured as well as unsecured, but bond will be always secured. That's why people prefer to make investment in a bond rather than debenture. The person who are conservative in nature, who do not want to take much risk in investment, they will prefer to make an investment in bond rather than making investment into debenture, because bond is always secured. The second definition, the bond will be always issued by a corporation, government agency. Okay, that government agency may be a financial institution. Like IDBI issued so many bond in India. ICICI Bank have issued so many bond in India. SBI have issued so many bond in India. Sardar Sarovar bond is very popular in India. So bond is generally issued by a government agency or any financial institution. But debenture can be issued by any public limited company which is private in nature, like Reliance can issue, L&T can issue. Any company which is private company and which where shares are traded into Indian market, they are supposed to issue a debenture, but bond is restricted to the corporation. And always there is a limitation. If your turnover is less than 1,000 crore, you cannot issue a bond in India. Either you are a big corporation or you are a government agency. Anything which is backed by government of India, you are supposed to issue a bond. So if bond is secure, definitely it have a less risk in comparison to debenture, because debenture may be unsecured. When we are talking about the liquidity, although the bond and debenture both are a borrowed capital, they have an advantage over equity investment. At a time of liquidity, company is supposed to pay back the borrowed capital before equity capital. Yani they will pay debenture holder as well as bond holder before the equity holder. But when we try to compare bond and debenture together, definitely if a company have issued a bond as well as debenture, both category of instrument in a borrowed capital category, company will give a preference to bond holder over a debenture holder. The bond holder are the first priority in case of liquidity, and debenture holder will be paid after the bond holder. That's why bond is less risky. Bond is more secure in comparison to debenture. Fine. So if the bond is more secure than debenture, definitely the interest rate or return which is given on a bond will be less than a debenture, because return is always linked to the risk. If a risk is high, the return automatically will increase in the market. So from these criteria, it's very much clear that bond have a carry the less risk amount in comparison to debenture. The bond definitely have a lowest interest rate in comparison to debenture. So bond have a low interest while debenture have a high interest. So if a person who want a more interest and ready to bear a more risk in a borrowed capital category, he will prefer to make an investment in debenture, while a person who is less risk bearing capacity and he is not concerned about return, he will prefer to make an investment into bond. So that is a major difference between bond and debenture. Now we'll discuss detail about a debenture. There are different definitions given for a debenture. Okay, like first definition, the first gentleman tried to explain debenture is a document given by a company as evidence of debt to the holder. And why? Because they want to create a loan, and most commonly secured by charge. It's not fixed that every time debenture will created by secured by a certain charge, but most commonly it's secured by charge. So the major key point of this definition is the evidence of debt. Evidence of debt means it's just a document, it's a paper. If I'm giving a money to Mr. X or I'm giving a money to X Limited, the X Limited will give a document to me, and that document proves I have given a money to X Limited. That document is known as a debenture. So debenture is explained as a evidence of debt. Debenture is a document which proves that I have paid something to that company. I have created a relation with that company, and that relation is that I am a lender and company is a borrower. So debenture is considered as a evidence of a debt. Fine. The first gentleman tried to explain it as a document which have a evidence of a debt, and it can create a charge on certain asset. The second definition says that the debenture is a document which either create a debt or acknowledge it. It's not necessary that you are paying something to the company, which is a creation of a debt. But if you are acknowledging of a payment, it's also known as a debenture. So the major difference between two definitions, this is a more broader in nature. The second definition is not only talking about the debt, it's talking about the acknowledgement of debt as well. While first definition is only talking about evidence of debt. And if I paid something, then it's a debenture. While second definition says that either you have paid or you are acknowledgement of a payment, both will consider as a debenture. Now come on a third definition, which is a more broader and explain every parameter of a debenture. Debenture obviously is a financial instrument which is issued by a company under its common seal. Common seal, it means the proof of a company with the name of a company. Like if Reliance have issued a debenture, the Reliance is using a common seal of Reliance Industry, which will be known as a common seal of that company. So debenture is an instrument.
30 or 40 or
Anyone have any confusion? The debenture is an instrument which is issued by a company under its common seal. Fine. And this common seal is acknowledgement of a debt. Okay. Or this is a term and condition where a company is accepting deposit, company is accepting loan from anyone. So debenture always considered as a debt instrument. And when we are using a term debt, it's pretty clear that you are getting a certain money and that money will be paid back with a certain interest rate. That relation is called debt. So term debenture is arrived from debt. The debenture itself have a component of debt. So debenture mainly always try to explain a relation of a debt. And when we are talking about debt, it's pretty clear that you are taking money from someone else and that money will be paid back with a certain interest rate in a certain time interval. So the final definition of a debenture, which is given in a section 2 of 30 Company Act 2013 of India, which says that debenture includes debenture stock, bond, or any other instrument of a company which is an evidence of debt. So this definition clearly indicates that debenture is any type of debenture stock. And when we are talking about debenture stock, why they have used this term debenture stock? A stock is simply those financial instrument which can be traded into a stock exchange. Any type of financial instrument which are allowed to trade in Indian stock exchanges will be considered as a debenture stock, which will consider as a stock. So debenture is a special type of debt instrument which is allowed to trade in NSE as well as BSE. So the definition clearly indicates debenture includes debenture stock, and if they are freely traded in a market, sometimes they are bond as well. Debenture, if any bond of a company is trading into a market, it can also consider as a debenture, or any other instrument of a company which is considered as a evidence of a debt. And rather than debenture, if company issuing another name like commercial paper, like deposit paper, like note, everything can be considered as a debenture. Don't play on a screen, otherwise I'll find it out. So debenture always include the debenture stock, bond, or any other instrument of a company under Company Act section 230 of Company Act. So these are the major definition of a debenture. Any confusion? Fine. Now we'll enter into a
No, sir.
Pardon?
No, I said no, sir.
Great. Now we enter into what is the features of debenture, and then we'll go for a types of debenture in next class. Fine. If they are a borrowed capital and debenture is a evidence of a debt, definitely the first feature will be promise. And the debenture itself create a promise relation, a certain promise, where it create a promise to pay back. If I made an investment into debenture of a Reliance, automatically the time of investing into debenture is create a promise that I'll pay 1 lakh rupees to Reliance in form of debenture, and Reliance will pay back that money to me after an interval of, let's assume, 1 year with an interest of 8%. So it's create a promise between a two party. So the first feature of debenture is creation of a promise. Always it create promise from a both party, a person who are making an investment and person who are accepting the investment. The second, debenture have a face value. When a company is issuing a debenture, let's assume a company X or L&T has issued a debenture, which is issued like 7% debenture of face value 1 lakh rupees for 4 years. This is a debenture where L&T have issued a debenture, 7% debenture, face value 1 lakh for 4 years. That's a typical example of a debenture where we have a promise that company will pay us 7% as an interest rate with a face value of 1 lakh rupees, and the maximum time of investment is 4 years. So here we have a 3 key points. One is an interest rate, which is called coupon on a debenture. We have one amount, which is called face value of debenture, 1 lakh rupees each. It means if I'm making an investment of 1 lakh, I'll get a 1 debenture. If I'm making an investment of 2 lakh rupees, I'll get a 2 debenture. And this time period will just for 4 years. Company will pay back my capital at the end of 4th year. Now, this debenture can be sell on a face value, and this debenture can be the actual market value of this debenture may be a 1 lakh rupees or maybe higher or lower to that 1 lakh rupees. If the face value is 1 lakh and debenture is selling at 1,20,000, we use term debenture is selling on a premium, because rather than 1 lakh, we are supposed to pay 1,20,000 to the issuer of this debenture. So debenture is selling on a premium. If the same debenture is selling on a discount, rather than 1 lakh, if debenture is selling at 80,000, we will use term this debenture is selling on a discount. But the calculation of an interest rate will made on a face value. And if the 7% of an interest will be calculated on a face value of 1 lakh. Like in our example, the debenture have a 7% face value of 1 lakh and for 4 years. It may sell on a more than 1 lakh or less than 1 lakh rupees. It can sell on a higher than 1 lakh, that is 1,20,000 on a premium, or it can sell on a less than 1 lakh, which is called on discount. But all the calculation of an interest will done on a face value. Either it's selling on a premium or a discount is hardly matter at a time of payment of an interest. Company is supposed to pay me 7,000 rupees every year. In any case, either the price is high or low, but I'll get a 7% fixed return on a 1 lakh. So face value is one of the most important criteria while issuing a debenture. The calculation of a debenture, the liability creation of a debenture will always done on a face value. If debenture have a 8% debenture and your face value is 1 lakh, company will pay you 8,000 rupees every year by dint of any value in a market. That's why face value become important. Okay. Now we have reached on a time limit. So we'll discuss the remaining thing in next class. Hello. We have reached the time limit, so we'll discuss the
Yes, sir.
remaining time, the remaining slide in the next class.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye, sir.
Okay, sir. Bye, 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 sir. Sir, thank you, sir.
Thank
You
you.
also take care, sir.
I'm taking care. Don't worry.
Sir, Meenakshi left the group, sir, long back.
Oh, sir, I'm
Okay,
here.
Meenakshi is there. Sorry.
Look, sir, her this thing is very clear, sir. She's lying, sir.
Okay, sir. Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Next class is at 10:30. Wake up.